this is Elena Seungeun Lee from We Learn to Share. Welcome to the video of AP English Literature and Composition. In this video, we're going to go over point of views. Today, we'll be tackling a pivotal aspect of any piece of literature, that's point of view, and we're discussing the narrative eyes through which a story is told. This could be a character, a narrator, or even the author themselves. Okay, so point of view itself involves not only the speaker's physical position as an observer and a recorder, but also how the speaker's social, political, and mental circumstances affect the narrative. Generally, we have the first person, third person limited, and third person omniscient, although there are much more of them, which you will find out later in the video. And as we analyze a piece of literature, we need to ask ourselves several questions to fully understand or discover the narrative perspective. Who is telling the story? How much is this person allowed to know? How is this character's mind and personality affecting my interpretation of the story? Has the author chosen this point of view for maximum revelation or for another reason? Has the author used a selective point of view fairly and consistently? What is the effect of any shifts in point of views? So, as we discover some of the text and some of the perspectives, be sure to ask these questions yourselves so that you can better find out or discover the point of view the author is using. Now, so we have the first person point of view over here. And the first person point of view is like a narration by a character involved in the story. It's like having a front row seat to the character's mind. Here, the narrator, of course, uses I, hence it's first person, and describes his or her own experiences, thoughts, or feelings. It's personal, intimate, and often very revealing. Second person, on the other hand, addresses the reader or author character as you. It's a tricky style, like being drafted into a play without any rehearsals, and it's pretty very, very rare. And the third person omniscient over here is like having a literally drone flying above, observing everything from a grand vantage point. The narrator knows everything and presents the thoughts and feelings of numerous characters. It's omniscient because it's like a god's point of view who knows everything. And in the third person limited, the narrator still stays outside the action, but only have access to one character's thoughts and feelings. One particular character's feelings, right? It's limited, but it can provide a laser focus on one character's experiences. Remember that it's just particular characters, well, hence this is limited. And even if it's both third person, this omniscient is different from limited because omniscient knows everything about all characters, while this limited only knows the feelings and experiences of particular characters. And then we have the third person objective, where the narrator doesn't take part in the action and doesn't reveal any character's thoughts or feelings. That's why it's objective, not subjective. It's more like an impartial news reporter at the scene. Example of this is a narrator used in The Hills Like White Elephants. But wait, there's more. Sometimes the author likes to mix things up. So they may use an innocent eye character over here, which is the character telling the story may be a child or a developmentally disabled individual. So that means that they have an innocent eye. That means the narrator is naive. Or there could be a stream of consciousness, which is interior monologue, in which narrative method in modern fiction, in which the author tells the story through an unbroken flow of thought and awareness. Hence, it's like a stream that flows through thoughts and awareness. And then there could be a reflective point of view, in which there is a narration from a different time in character's life. Hence, it's reflecting on rather your past, on your life's past. An example of this would be Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird and David Copperfield. So both Scout as a narrator and David as a narrator use reflective point of view in the book. And then there are also non-participant point of view. So it's like an omniscient narrator. The author can enter the mind of all the characters, like the omniscient third point of view. And there are two types of it. One was, this is kind of an this could be parallel to this, right? We have omniscient, who knows everything, limited, who knows only particular characters, and objective, who did not interfere in any of the minds or experiences, feelings of the characters. Over here, we have selective or limited omniscient narrator, in which the author limits his omniscience to the minds of a few of the characters or to the mind of a single character. And then we have an objective narrator, in which the author does not enter a single mind at all, but instead records what can be seen and heard. And this type of narrator is like a reporter, right? Or like a camera or fly on the wall. And then we have objective point of view, in which it allows inferences to be made by readers through their observance of dialogue and external diction. So it's like in which it allows inferences to be made. So it could be up to the readers, right? And readers are not directly influenced by the author's statements. However, their perceptions are rather influenced more subtly by the author's selection of diction and details. For example, Hamlet by Shakespeare, oops, there should be E over here, has its focus on dialogue, in which presents a objective point of view because it makes the readers to think, right? Think and kind of make inferences from the Hamlet story itself by carefully observing what Shakespeare uses in his diction and his details within the play. And then, because this is so important, let me explain this one more time. So we have omniscient point of view, which allows great freedom, in which narrator knows everything, knows there is no everything of the characters. It's both externally, meaning what happens around the character, and both internally, so what happens within the character, like his minds, feelings, etc. The third person narrator describes what characters are feeling and thinking, describes what the characters do. The narrator also may shift focus from the closed view to the larger perspective. And the narrator may comment on events and characters, thus explaining their significance to the reader. And the narrator may offer multiple perspectives on the same events. And then we had the limited omniscient point of view, in which author knows everything about just one particular character, and the story is portrayed through the eyes of one character, and there is a sense of distance from the other characters, because it's focused on just one character, right? And the approximate conditions of life in that only one character's thoughts are known, and the story is more unified through this use of this point of view. Again, the story is more unified, okay, through this limited omniscient point of view. Okay, so this was basically what I have prepared for today's video. And remember that the point of view itself is not just about who's speaking or narrating, right? It's about how that perspective shapes the story and our understanding of it. It can shift, evolve, or even remain constant. It can limit or expand our view. In every case, it's a fundamental aspect of storytelling that we must understand and appreciate. So that's all for today's video for point of view on AP Lit. And keep exploring, questioning, and more importantly, keep reading. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel We Learn to Share. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.